What's good? Demetrius Andrade defeats Artur Akavov by 12th round stoppage. The stoppage was garbage, and the announcers said it just perfectly. They only stopped it because he was bleeding from a headbutt, which he gave to Andrade a couple rounds before. So he wasn't hurt. He got caught with a decent shot that knocked him back, but he wasn't hurt. He wasn't on the verge of getting knocked down. He wasn't on the verge of being knocked out. Absolutely not. So this was a terrible stoppage, but regardless of that, Andrade fought a pretty good fight against an overmatched opponent. Akavov had a couple losses, one to Billy Joe. Andrade just kept his jab going throughout the night, moving around to a pretty uneventful fight, except for the ninth where he got caught and he got stumbled a couple times, but Akavov just didn't have it in him to knock him down or knock him out. And Andrade was too skilled of a fighter to allow a guy like Akavov to knock him out. So, uneventful fight. This was a main event. I don't mind that this was a main event on DAZN. That's what it's called, DAZN. DAZN. I don't mind that it was a main event in DAZN. I don't mind that at all. But this was a main event in Madison Square Garden. Demetrius Andrade versus Artur Akavov was a main event in Madison Square Garden. Let that sink in. Wow. Because this fight, in so many words, this fight was boring. Andrade fights to the level of competition, kind of like a Rigo does, kind of like a Andre Ward did, except he might be a little more exciting than that because he's not tying up every 3 seconds. But still, get these guys out of there. And not this way. Not with the help of the referee. Get him out of there legit. Dude, you could throw a lot more body shots. You see they were landing. You could throw a lot more uppercuts. They were landing. But guys like Andrade, like the Rigo, like Andre Ward, they're happy with jabbing and moving around for 12 rounds, just doing enough to win. And that's fine to win. That's fine. He's the IBF champion. He's a very talented fighter, very athletic fighter. But it's not going to win you any fans. And I was a big fan of Andrade when he beat Brian Rose. I was like, oh, man, yeah. This is what we got to see. A guy this skilled, a southpaw, very athletic southpaw with a very long reach, very skillful guy, amateur background, U.S. Olympian. Yes, this is the guy. Then he went inactive, and now he fights every once in a while against subpar competition in boring fights. I know he was going to fight Billy Joe, and what happened with Billy Joe was he tested positive, but just if you're going to fight guys like this, do it more often and get them out of there. Get these guys out of there, because when you extend fights like these, it kind of gives the idea that you're not a world-class fighter, that you're not an elite level fighter, that probably a guy like Canelo or Jacobs or even a guy like Charlo probably would have their way with you. And I don't think that's true at all. I think Andrade is a very tough fight for all those guys, but I think Canelo clearly beats him. Probably could knock him out. Triple G still beats him, even though he's past his prime. Danny Jacobs probably beats him. Charlo, I think Andrade beats Charlo, but that's a 55-45 fight for me. Korobov gives him all he can handle, maybe even drops him, but I think Andrade squeaks by a close decision. So he is world class, but I don't think he's an elite, and that's just the perception he gives when he fights. He's extremely talented, like I said. He's very athletic. He's very tall and rangy, but some of these fights have me second guessing all that. So what do you guys think? How does he do against world class opponents? And let's get these fights. He's on the zone now, so let's get him against the winner of Canelo versus Jacobs, or against Golovkin by the end of this year, or mid-June, July. That'd be an awesome fight. Or let's do the fight against Billy Joe. Let's get these guys. Let's get Andrade fighting world-class fighters. What he should have been doing for years now already. It frustrates me to see a guy waste his career. I think he's wasting his career fighting guys like this because he's not living to his true potential. Because if he fights to his level of opposition, that means if he gets a guy like Canelo or Danny Jacobs, then he's going to fight to their skilled level. And he's going to give them at the very least, all they could handle. So that's what I want to see. I want to see Andrade live up to his potential. See the best of Andrade. And I don't think we've seen the best. Not yet. Not yet. So, thank you guys for watching. Peace.